The speed at which the two major characters in the franchise fell in love made NCIS history. Jessica Knight, Katrina Law, and Jimmy Palmer, Brian Ditson. It took more than 10 years for Ziva David, Cote de Pablo, and Tony DiNozzo, Michael Weatherly, to declare their love for one another. However, Ziva left the series when it occurred. Ellie Bishop, Emily Wickersham, and Nick Torres, Wilmer Valderrama, were the following coupling featuring two major NCIS characters. Even though it only took 3 seasons for them to declare their love for one another, Ellie's departure from the program prevented fans from witnessing their romance blossom. These earlier instances add to the novelty of Jessica and Jimmy's romantic journey. Viewers were able to observe the development of Jimmy and Jessica's romance shortly after Long made his main character debut on NCIS Season 19. Seeing Jessica and Jimmy together was not only endearing, but it also gave the actors a chance to showcase a distinct aspect of their roles. By the end of Season 21, Jessica and Jimmy were at odds over her choice to serve as a REACT Regional Enforcement Action Capabilities Team training officer in California. The marriage was in limbo when she rejoined the NCIS crew in Season 22. Jessica and Jimmy acknowledged their affection for one another in NCIS Season 22, Episode 4, but they also decided that it would be better if they broke up formally so they could focus on improving themselves. The decision to break up is beneficial for all parties, especially because there aren't many episodes that are just about them. Jimmy hasn't had many episodes that focus on him, despite being a part of NCIS since Season 1. The fact that Jimmy is a widower with a teenage daughter named Victoria Elizabeth Palmer, Elle Graper, may be recalled by longtime followers. It is disclosed in NCIS Season 18 that his wife, Brina Palmer, Michelle Pierce, died of COVID-19. Jimmy and Jessica share their first kiss in the very following season. The series' decision to forego the slow-burning romance was a welcome surprise, but it was also startling to see how quickly Jimmy dealt with his loss. Brina was first introduced in NCIS Season 7. However, she barely appeared in a few episodes before being completely cut from the show. Victoria herself has only had speaking lines in 1 episode. The authors of NCIS forced Jimmy to create his own family, despite the fact that neither his parents nor his brother were ever shown on the show. Jimmy has a lot of potential to develop as a person, whether it is as a medical examiner or a father. After the deaths of the agents she trained, Jessica had a significant life transition, moving from the REACT to the NCIS NCRT, Major Crimes Response Team. Jessica's family members have been on NCIS a few times, and she added a fresh energy to the squad. But as a prominent character, she hasn't received much attention. NCIS now has the chance to demonstrate what happens when a significant couple splits up without either of them leaving the program, even if it was good for the creative team to break the norm of slow-burn relationships with Jessica and Jimmy. It will give these characters a fresh dimension and enable the authors to continue examining an entirely separate aspect of Jimmy and Jessica. Even while it might be really unpleasant to observe most breakups, Jessica and Jimmy understand one another very well. While Jessica points out that Jimmy needs someone to provide him with the stability he deserves, Jimmy informs her in NCIS Season 22, Episode 4, that she deserves an Indiana Jones-style companion who is impulsive and travels the globe with her. Despite being aware that they are unable to meet each other's requirements, Jessica and Jimmy are careful to state that they do not now have the capacity to do so. They continue to keep the door open in the hopes that they would eventually cross paths again. However, as they pointed out, they still have a lot of personal development to go through until then. It's ideal that these characters are developed separately so they can stand out as fully realized people, especially given how quickly Jessica and Jimmy started dating. They may both grow without feeling constrained by one another. On the other side, NCIS may exploit their time apart to try to get them back together after a long time apart after skipping past their slow-burn relationship. There are still more stories to be told before the show reopens this chapter of their life, since NCIS Season 22 has only shown 4 episodes thus far.